Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to December 14th, 2024, in the beautiful outskirts of Quartzsite, Arizona, in the great southwest Arizona. And I'm boondocking out here on La Posa South, the long-term visitor area. And right now, the temperature outside is 39 degrees at 5:45 a.m. But inside, embarrassingly, it's 84. All right, what do we have for the next few days? We have, as I tab through here, mostly sunny days. The days that aren't totally sunny have a little tiny cloud in the corner, which is hardly anything. And the highs range from 67 to 73. Stays right tight in there, mostly low 70s. And the lows are between 42 and 47. Not bad, not bad. And then earlier I checked the wind speeds and I see no double-digit wind speeds forecasted for the next 10 days, which is really good news. So we have ideal weather coming into Christmas. That 10 days will include Christmas, and the 3-day, it'll include Christmas, Boxing Day, and a couple of more days after that. So that is the weather. So let's start with the comments. And I'm excited that a YouTuber, a great YouTuber who's also a friend of mine, Jana, Frugal RV Gal, was my first comment today. And Frugal RV Gal is talking about the video that I did on, the way I have this listed, it doesn't list the video, so I don't remember the title, but it's a video about finances and how you can afford to do this lifestyle depending on your style and means and income, and they're all different ways to slice up this pie. And Frugal RV Guy says, great video, Rob, and lots of great info. Thanks for the shout out. And I did stay for the whole 45 minutes. And I said, I'm honored, and I am. And in two ways. She stayed for 45 and she says my video is great. She's not the kind of person that just, if she doesn't have a compliment, you'll generally not hear anything. That's I'm trying to say, if she says something nice to you, she friggin' means it. And I referenced her quite a bit on the food end of things because she has a brilliant channel, Frugal RV Gal, that speaks to the idea of two things: making healthy, creative dishes easily in a small space. She has a truck camper, and for little money, very little money. Frugal is serious about frugal. Billy 510, I know exactly how you feel. That's how I feel about my RV coziness. Dom the First, did you mention you have solar? I do not recall you mentioning it. I just missed it. And I said, yeah, I have 1,360 watts of solar. Then Paul Bunyan responds to that, says, how much battery storage? Are you running 12, 24, 48? I don't know at all. Pardon me. I guarantee you that I got a ton of videos out there on this, but I'll answer. 12 volts with 600 amp hours of battery. And he'll come back and say, lithium or lead acid? It's lithium. Battleborn or Losagy? Both. Bill Wright says, Rob, this is very good information. I'm watching this right now on my TV, but wanted to reach out to ask, in which category do you have auto insurance? And I didn't understand the question. And he clarified and he said, when you watch my video, there's a spreadsheet in the background that has all the numbers I'm talking about. He said, what category is it in? I said it was in the second one, and I think it was called RV insurance. So it's in the second one. It's $100 a month or $1,200 a year. It's for my trailer and my truck. And yes, I tell them I live full time in my trailer. And it's progressive insurance. Out of my home base is Pahrump, Nevada. JB Madeira, you've done several videos recently that have been really outstanding. Thanks for providing in-depth details about life as a nomad. Well, you're welcome. My nomadic dream, my buddy across the street. So I mentioned him in the video, and I want you to keep something in mind. Right as I'm taking Dottie out yesterday, I looked across and his name's Herbie, and I saw him sitting out in his chair, I think with his laptop. And I was getting Dottie to do her business, and I decided I was going to walk over and say hi. And as I was thinking that, he was writing this. Good morning, Rob. Thank you for the shout out. I do have to say you are one of the inspirational nomads that pushed me to do this because of your videos. They are very informative. They're not full of glamour, they're full of realism. It gives people a sense of actually living this life, so when it inspires people to realize that they can do it themselves as well. Since I started this journey, I've realized all the freedoms that I have now that I did not have in the real life. Like, for example, the freedom to make any place my patio to where I can just sit and enjoy time, and to make any place my home with $1 million view. But with all that aside, you've really mastered the art of not talking to the camera, but talking to the individual on the other side. Thank you. Pretty big compliment. And he was writing that when I was standing out there, and I walked over to him. And I wrote, thanks so much. You must have written that just as I walked up to your camp. And he says, yeah, just moments before he came outside. Nathan, living our journey on the same string, said, great response, Herbie. So true about Rob talking to us versus at us. To us is such a great point. I feel the same about your videos as well. Yeah, and Nathan's, I really like his style of videos and his way of casually, naturally speaking, and just talking about, here's what I'm doing, here's the deal, come along. It's really good. All right, let's move to Cindy Canvas. Great information. Thank you for sharing your experiences. I tell you, I'd much rather be in a bind with my finances and my rig than in a rental. The fear of being evicted would stress me out horribly. Freedom means everything to me. In nomad life, eviction is, we call it the knock. And the knock comes when you end up either intentionally or unintentionally camping in a place you're not supposed to be camping in, and the knock is like the police saying, you can't camp here. That's an eviction. That's a nomad eviction. How to afford and it was at the top of all these comments. The name of the video was how to afford and thrive in this lifestyle. Billy 510 has 2 smiley faces for that. On the solar store and on Solar Bill, Blue Pony says your videos are so detailed that I feel like I'm there. Beautiful. Beautiful life. Zaire. And this is also on how to afford and thrive. Zareth the Alchemist. Zareth the Alchemist. Yes, I hung in there for 45 minutes, but I learned so much, and this video could not have been more timely either. I'm 63 on a fixed income, by the way, which is $1,000 a month, Social Security. No real savings either. Building out my van and leaving a property at the end of the month, thanks to videos like this one, heading to Quartzsite. I really needed to see the budgeting aspect. Pretty sure I can do this and get by. That bit about part-time work was encouraging too. And if I have enough left over 1 month, I'll try to find you and take you out to dinner. And of course, get Dottie a doggy bag of her own. Yes to freedom. Thank you for sharing what you've learned. You're providing a service and showing people how it can be accomplished. You're a great guy, and I look forward to hooking up, as they might say in the travel trailer community. Get it? Hooking up? Travel trailer. And personally thanking you for the encouragement to begin the next adventure of my life. Well, I'm happy for you. And yes, you can do it. And I'm not saying that because I do it on $1,000 a month. I am close to people that do it on that. And they're happy and they thrive and they're joyous. And yes, you can do it. Shelly Wilcox says, your lifestyle intrigues me so much. I'm 60, married, raising a 10-year-old daughter, and still working. I have at least 5 more years to go before I can retire. I plan to homeschool our little girl at some point. My wheels are turning. Good for you. Slaff Adventures. You have me goosebumps at the mention of being free to do anything you want to do at any time. I'm 3 months away from retirement and an RV myself. Woohoo. Yeah. I can shut off this camera right now, pack up my stuff, hook up my trailer, and drive to Carlsbad, Los Angeles, Boise, Hurricane, Utah, Dallas, Texas. Shall I go on? I can do that right now, today. Nothing's stopping me. Freedom. Right, overnight visitor, no Acme devices seen, so I'm safe. So it's my game camera shot of coyote, a big one. So Life Happens says it would be cool to see a Roadrunner first and coyote following it. Yeah, they're out, but they're both out here, Roadrunners and coyotes. And it's no coincidence that the 2 grocery stores in town are the Roadrunner and the coyote. PC Thayer says, never thought of coyotes in the desert, but I should have known from Roadrunner cartoons, I guess. Life Happens says, from talking to a person in the Tyson Wash Market area, on occasion there are bobcats as well. It popped up in a conversation. The lady thought, that's my big cat. People turned around and there was a bobcat just moseying along in the wash near the market. PC Thayer says, that's surprising. I didn't know bobcats were here in Massachusetts, but I looked out the window and saw one just casually strutting across my deck. Interesting. So here's the thing. It's a funny little video camp of the coyote, but there's something not that funny about the coyote. That coyote, that particular one, we can tell from its size. It's about the size of a German Shepherd, and it always seems to be alone. Although you can be fooled, because often if you see one coyote, there's others nearby that you just can't see. They generally travel in packs. But we've seen this one during the day, and it doesn't seem to be in a pack. It seems to be a lone coyote, and it's very bold. My buddy Can't Make Cheryl, Pup Camper 52, was out before, just around sunset, but there was plenty of light, out with her dog, and suddenly the coyote was there 20 feet from her. And she yelled, expecting it to run away. It didn't budge. It just stared at her and her dog. And it was pretty terrifying. She had to walk back to her camp without taking her eyes, not daring to take her eyes off the coyote. Then just 2 days ago, I heard wild barking, and that coyote, during the late day, walked right into our camp and was right up against right next to a friend's trailer. Very odd behavior. I did a little bit of research and found not all that far from here, in a park outside Phoenix, a woman and her dog, just in a public park in broad daylight, were confronted by a coyote that would not leave them alone. It kept circling and charging, and the only way she got out was a man noticed it and came up, and the combination of her yelling and the man coming up and yelling, the coyote went away. In general, 99% of the time, they're going to stay away from you and they're afraid of people. But every once in a while, there's a problem. And this one is a problem potentially in our camp this year. King Bass Pickleball. Can you video the local pickleball scene if you get a chance one of these days and you're out roaming around? Here, I'll show you the pickleball scene in Quartzsite right now. Here it is. Get it? If there's a pickleball court anywhere in Quartzsite, I will stand corrected and beg for forgiveness. But I don't think there's a pickleball court anywhere in Quartzsite. I really don't. So that's the pickleball scene in Quartzsite. Sorry. I lost I lost, yeah, I lost my place. Rob. So I'm going to have to find the pickleball thing. As I say, when I mess this up, sip your coffee, check your email. Wow, I really... All right, King Base Pickleball. Sorry, man. So if anybody out there says, hey, there's XYZ RV park in Quartzsite that has a pickleball court, let me know in the comments. I don't mind being wrong. If there is one, no one's ever mentioned it to me. I've never seen anything about it. On my positive news video, it was the Colorado River is up. The lake, the lake is up outside Las Vegas. That's a big deal. I think it's up 16 feet. Ken Gray says, glad the community is pulling together to restore balance. Overnight visitor, no Acme devices seen, so I'm safe. That's the cavity game camera. I could ruin your childhood Saturday mornings on this, but I will just say it's a lot better looking than the super genius on TV. Ken Gray, time for a second attempt to publish this video. It disappeared from my feed while I was watching the positive news. Edit, it's back. So I don't know. I didn't publish it and republish it. I don't know what happened there, Ken. Hope Barry says, good morning, Rob. We've been living vicariously through your YouTube videos for over a year. We are headed to Quartzsite in just over a week. We look forward to bumping into you and meeting Dottie. We are wanting to go for a day trip to Algodones, but we have a small dog. Do you know anyone that brings their pups with them? If so, is there anything besides vet records that we need to make sure we bring? And I said, I seen people with their dogs regularly down there. You see, and I don't know what they require at the border coming in and coming out, but I would have my vaccination record with me. Or check. I would be more concerned about leaving than coming in, because just logistically, if you get to the Mexican border and they say your dog can't come in, you don't lose your dog. You just go home. If they let you in, but the U.S. doesn't let you back in, then you're stuck. Your dog's stuck in Mexico. I don't think that's going to happen, but I would check their website and Border Protection and see what they say about that. But I can't believe it's a problem because I see lots of people with little dogs on their leash. Have I ever brought Dottie down? No. Overnight visitor, no Acme devices. I think it's the haunted zombie coyote of Quartzsite. It's not stalking you, said no one ever. That was Joseph. And Nathan, living our journey. Good morning, Mr. Rob. I don't know about the whole hero thing, but I always watch your videos to the end, no matter what. Not because I'm bored, but because you always put out positive energy and really good information. I personally love these type of videos, not because I need them, but I know there's someone on the fence out there about this lifestyle, and videos like this may move them further towards making the leap to what I consider an amazing way of life. Your personal spin on thing also adds to the likability factor. There's so many ways to make this lifestyle work. We work and camp and love it. It definitely helps with making this lifestyle affordable. Really looking forward getting to Quartzsite in about 3 weeks. Have a great day. Can't wait till you're here. That's great. Ken Gray said, very good information. Thank you. Marie, who travels, says, I enjoyed the video. Very good information. Love to see Dottie sleeping in the back without a care in the world. A dog's life. Yeah, she's sleeping. Aloha Sailor. I would love to camp 365, but I found it just too expensive, especially in Quartzsite. I live in a hotel currently for $500, less monthly than your spreadsheet, in my 60s, free from vehicle maintenance, utilities, etc. Grounded Life Finance channel turned me on to the idea if I share it with another person, expense would be 50% less. As of today, I have Enough hotel points for 2 free months. Not bragging, but pointing out another route to freedom. I do love your daily videos. There are lots of ways to do it. And you don't have to be in an RV, and you don't have to be in Quartzsite. However, I found it surprising that she said, it's just too, camping's just too expensive, especially in Quartzsite. Are you kidding? So you must be really misunderstanding me, because Quartzsite, I mean, granted, this separate discussion, this rate's going to go up next year. But since 2008, the rate to stay in the LTVA, which you can stay from September 15th to April 15th, if you can stand the hot weather on either end of those things. I don't. I stay 4 months. But it's $180 for the permit. That's it. Unlimited water, unlimited garbage, unlimited dumping. All you got to do is provide your own electricity. You know, you get a couple of solar panels and a couple of batteries. I mean, it's not quite that simple, but for that, it's simple. There's no definition that says that's an expensive way to camp. That's a very inexpensive way to camp. And there are RV parks in town. Now, granted, the RV parks, they jack up their prices way in January, but you can buy passes for the season that are just a couple $1,000 for the whole season. The whole season, like 5-6 months for the whole winter. And you know, that's way less than $500 a month. And you can even get better deals than that. There are 50 RV parks, and a lot of them would rather have you know, come in there in September and stay to April than counting on the few people that just come for January and pay the big bucks. So Quartzsite is extremely affordable. Maybe not your cup of tea, but to say I'd love to camp 65, but found it just too expensive, especially in Quartzsite. No. Way less than $500 a month to camp in Quartzsite, especially if you're boondocking like me. So there's a misunderstanding there somewhere, I think. CD Casita Adventures. You know who that is? It's Charlie and Diane, my friends from Eagle Nest. Hi, Rob. We're listening. Looking forward to see you and Dottie. Only 13 days until we leave for Quartzsite. Less than 2 weeks. And today it'll be 12 days. Then tomorrow, 11. The Mad Camper says, hey, Rob, great video. You mentioned having months of food. I think I have 2 months of food I can survive on. Do you dehydrate and vacuum seal? I've seen videos, and I'll be experimenting with powdered eggs. They keep for years, plus soup, pasta. Curious how you're doing your meal prep. I wonder if you could dehydrate something like beef stroganoff. Is an MRE type thing. Thanks and good job. I don't get that fancy. I do have a vacuum sealer, but I don't use it to store food, like dry food or anything. Maybe I should. But I just have a big bin back there in storage that's got a ton of canned Spam, all kinds of canned meats, right? And things like rice and just dried stuff that keeps forever. And, you know, am I a Spam lover? No. But protein, that kind of protein that keeps forever, is, if you need to stretch your food out, it's really good to be able to have that protein. So it's definitely for emergencies. Elias Hope. And they're saying it's Elias Hope, because I think I looked at it the other day and go, Elias Shope? It's Elias Hope. Stacy Jones says, thank you, Rob. I appreciate all this information. Bill V says, I'll let you know, Rob, you have motivated me to divide 22-foot trailer. I have to do a little bit of work too, because I do not feel like pulling a 36-foot fifth wheel with 3 slides. Not thinking that would be fun. I was thinking of starting a YouTube channel on repairs of the RV. I don't know how good that will go over the YouTube channel. Maybe helped me meet new people like yourself. I'm 67 years old. I think I got a few years laughing. Okay. Here's the thing about starting a YouTube channel. You can start a YouTube channel for free. It doesn't cost anything. It's like if you have a Google account, you've got a YouTube channel. You just do. You can go in there anytime and change the name of it to something marketable or whatever. And the other thing you need is a camera. Well, here's a camera. It'll work just fine. That's it. It's got a microphone, camera. This is a TV studio in a movie studio. This is it. That's all you need. And more important, you need an idea that is based on something that you're passionate about. Like me. I love my RV. I love RVs. I love camping. I love Quartzsite. I love traveling. I love this lifestyle. I just can't get enough of it. I am enthusiastic and I love it. So when I sit and I talk about this part of my life, it's not a chore. I just love talking about it. I'm passionate. So if I went out there and said, okay, I'm going to do a YouTube channel, what kind of YouTube channel pays the most? And there's a difference. It depends on the niche that you're in and what kind of demographics it attracts. And you know what the number one is? Finances. Well, I'm not a certified financial planner or anything like that. I do have an accounting degree from way back in the day. I know numbers. I understand the stock market. I understand investing. I could do a finance channel. It wouldn't last. And it wouldn't get popular either, because if you're just doing it for the money, for a living, people can tell. It's not attractive to listen to someone talk about something they really don't care about. What's attractive is talking to somebody that really is excited about what they're talking about and what they're doing. It's infectious. And so you got to think, okay, well, I'm interested in, those little plastic green army men. Well, I reposition them I use a heat gun, reposition them, and I paint them different colors and detail. That's what I'm passionate about. I love doing that. I collect those, and I get so excited about it. But I can't do a YouTube channel on something that ridiculous. Yeah, you can. And it will be successful. Why do I say that? I have reasons why I say that. I have 2 billion reasons. That's the audience. 2 billion people all over the world watch YouTube. And how big a chunk do you think, out of 2 billion people, how many of them would be really excited about little green army men that you reshape in color? The answer is plenty enough for you to find them. It'll take a long time to find them. Heck, I worked for well over a year, and before I reached the criteria to be able to have ads on my videos that gives me income. So you work for free for a long time because they want you to have 1,000 subscribers, but that's actually kind of easy to get. It really is, comparatively. The other threshold is you need 4,000 hours of watch time. That means people have to watch your stuff 4,000 hours worth. That's 4,000 people watching you for an hour, or 8,000 people watching you for half an hour. That's a lot. And it took me over a year to get there, and I got there by accident because I did a video I filmed the aftermath of an RV wreck, and it went viral. There's over like 1.4 million views, and it just went off the charts. And you think 4,000. So here we are. I'm 3 years late down. If you look, my channel says, wait a minute, Rob, you started your channel like in 2008 or 2009. I did. right? But I didn't do this. I did other things on there. I wasn't looking for an audience. I wasn't looking for make money. I did it for my business and my job, and I had a video business on the side. I did weddings and funerals, and I did advertisements for local businesses. I did community events. I did promo videos for the agency that I was running, all kinds of things. I did talent nights at the local coffee shop. I wasn't doing this stuff. This stuff didn't start until the day I retired was the first video. And that was December 1st, 2021. And now we're coming up to 4 years, three years. Yeah, because we just passed December 1st, 2024. So 3 years. First year, nada. Okay, let's look at my stats, and let me tell you how many views I've had lifetime. Oh, no, we're not talking views. We're talking hours, right? Where's hours? Where is it? Watch time in hours. Let's see, lifetime. And remember, I said I needed 4,000 to get started. My lifetime watch hours at this point, after plugging along for 3 years, it's not 4,000. It's 127,532 hours of watch time. I read it and I go, how can that possibly be? So there's such a huge audience out there that it doesn't matter what you're passionate about. As long as it's not something that's like offensive, right? You're going to find an audience, and people are going to follow you and like you, and eventually you'll make money. It's that easy. And there'll people that will really disagree with what I'm about to say. But if you do it, you'll find a bazillion videos giving you all the rules of the road you need to follow and the things that you need to do to be successful. I ignore almost every one of them. Yeah. I've only got one. When you look at me, you get me. You get who I am. And you get my enthusiasm about my lifestyle, and you get authentic Rob. And I think that's the thing that you need. You need to be passionate about what you're doing. You need to be excited about it. And you just need to be yourself. Right? Do I have bad days where I don't feel good? Yeah. When I'm not feeling good, I don't do the video in that moment. But here's the secret. For those of you that know, I have every single day, I have 3 videos. I've got this comment video, right? I've got one, what I call the long form base channel video of me going to the grocery store or walking through the desert or whatever. Then the third one is every single day, and I have these consecutively numbered, I do a positive news video. And it's the very first thing I do when I get up in the morning. I sit down, I find my positive news story, and I look at the camera and I report or often read from the news story, and it's something positive that speaks directly to my heart every day. And that sets the tone for my attitude for the rest of the day. And people may wonder, well, why do you keep doing those? Because you've done 277 of them and people hardly watch them at all. That's true. People hardly watch them at all. I don't care. That's not the purpose. The purpose is, well, one, I told you, I get something out of it, and I'm never going to stop doing it because it has such a positive impact on my life and my attitude. But there are a few people, even though they're generally less than 100 views per video, there are people that respond to it every single day and said that it meant something to them. If I even got one like on 100 videos, that's good enough for me. That's It means I'm not just talking to myself. And even if I was, that's not a bad thing either. I have totally lost my train of thought. I have no idea where we are now. I have no clue. It was Bill V's. Sorry. And I'm not even done yet. Michelle Mueller says, oh my God, I live in Idaho and I absolutely do this. Updating my solar 2 years to retirement. Yay! I lived in Idaho too. I lived in Sagal, Idaho. If you don't know North Idaho real well, that's near Sandpoint. If you don't know if you don't know that real well, Sandpoint's about an hour, 45 minutes north of Coeur d'Alene. If you don't know Coeur d'Alene, you don't live in Idaho. You never have, and you don't know much about it. But it's the Panhandle. It's a little strip at the top of Idaho. All right. Ken Gray says, yeah, I know who you were talking about for 30 years. Geraldine. Okay. So I did a positive video on a woman that turned 100. She worked in factories in World War II, and she was a real life, quote, Rosie the Riveter. And I speculated, I wonder if Rosie the Riveter was based on anyone. Huh, what a thought. And normally I would Google that, but I don't have to Google anymore because I have this YouTube channel and I have Ken. Ken can't resist it. If I ask a question, Ken is like, what? Here's his answer. Yeah, I know who you are talking to. For 30 years, Geraldine Hoff Doyle was believed to be the inspiration for Rosie the Riveter. An investigation into the 2000s found that another worker, Naomi Parker Fraley, inspired the image. I knew it. Maura Shepard says, thanks for the helpful information. That was new to campsite, desert camping. Don't make this mistake. And I talk about the dangers of washes and potential dangers driving through them, or God forbid camping in them. Don't ever camp in a wash. It's a dry creek bed that doesn't stay dry forever. That's good enough reason not to camp there. Wendy Sosa says, hi Rob, another awesome and informative video. Thank you. JB, I fractured my wrist in 2 places, my tibia and my radius. Oh, what a way to start a comment. Oh my gosh. JB, I just got Medicare with a supplemental insurance plan. No need to pay. I did not have insurance for over 30 years. I am ready to go. And I answered and I said, yes, I got the Plan G supplement. So I got the Cadillac of Medicare. It kicks in I'm looking at the calendar so 31 plus 14, 41. In 45 days, it kicks in. Ken Gray said, for the AirPods, some people put the post up instead of down and swear it's better. Might be worth a try. I don't know, Ken. I think the AirPods, I don't have them yet, but with the post hanging down like this, I think it looks ridiculous. And I think having it go up might even be worse. I don't think better. I think reception may be better, but I think as far as what you look like, not so much. And I'm experimenting with it because they got the FDA, I think in 2022, approved the manufacture of over-the-counter hearing aids. It wasn't allowed before. So some big names went into it, like Bose and Sennheiser, and big companies went into making over-the-counter hearing aids. And, they go between $700 and $1,000. And I looked into those, and they're really just literally hearing aids. And you can't really see them. They're real small. They go in your ear canal, and they're hard to notice. And I was considering one of those. Hey, if you could use that and hook to your phone and make phone calls and stuff, that'd be great. But you can't. They haven't gotten there yet. The devices are too small to be able to do that. All they do is act as a hearing aid that's not as good as prescription, but better, good enough, especially for people like with a minor hearing loss like me. Now, like Bose makes a hearing aid that you can connect, but it looks more like an earbud and you can see it. Not as much as the Apple thing that's the big white thing with the two stalks that come down. But I've watched quite a few reviews of them by audiologists online, and it's very encouraging. And it would be nice. It not only has the hearing aid feature and a hearing test, and it tweaks it for your hearing, but it also has the really great headphones. So, and I'll let you know when I get them. Moment Crappy. That's quite the name. Laughed out loud, no Acme labels. The Roadrunner has all of them now. That's funny. J-Dog, hey Rob, thanks for another great video. We need a fast food comparison video where you talk about that McDonald's prices are high. Maybe go in, show us their menu, and compare it to Carl's Jr. And I said, sadly, you can download both. Not sadly, I'm sorry. I said to him, you can download both apps. You can compare. I almost never create content for my videos. It's just not my thing. And I know that's different from a lot of other YouTubers, but I don't have this thought like, that would make a great video. Come on, Dottie, let's go and make the video. I don't do that. It's not my thing. I don't enjoy doing that. So my videos are about what I enjoy doing. And doing something like going to 2 restaurants and comparing prices, nah. If I want to go to a restaurant, I'm interested in it, I'll do a video on it. Because that's what I don't follow the camera follows me. That's my philosophy. And I'm not saying that's better than anybody else. I'm saying that's what I'm comfortable with and happy with. RV Life, great video. Yes, I stayed for the whole thing. Freedom to do anything you want is priceless. Keep up the positivity. We need more of that in this world. We do. In RV Life again, Arizona needs that Colorado River too. Such good news. Thanks. Yeah, I think like if my memory serves, 38% of Arizona water is provided by the Colorado River. Did you know that Las Vegas is, I think, almost a net zero user of water because they are huge into water restrictions and water reclamation. And it's hard to imagine looking at those Bellagio fountains, but it's true. Paul Bunyan says on the Afford and Thrive This Lifestyle, this may be your best video ever. Why do you ask? Because you just gave a lot of people hope. I hope that's true. I do. Don Collin just received the phone holder you recommended from Amazon and used it on our drive yesterday. Best I've ever used, built to last. Buying a second for the wife. Hopefully we get to meet you when we come in Quartzsite in January. Thanks, Rob. Don and Sue Ellen. Jodea Romes. Beet Farmer. I really needed this video today. I'm at a crossroad. It includes early retirement, Pahrump, beets, and Quartzsite. Do I or don't I? What about this? What about that? But the freedom. I don't give it enough weight. I needed to be reminded. Thanks for another great video. It's the cornerstone to this lifestyle. If that did not exist, or a keystone. You know what a keystone is? In an arch, it's a stone that through pressure keeps the arch together and makes the structure of the arch possible. And it's what holds it all together. And the keystone is, for nomad life, is freedom. That sense of freedom that, like I said before, I can turn this camera off and go anywhere I want and do anything I want. Freedom. Dr. Gary Green, could someone set up a pizza oven and Quartzsite and sell it to the folks staying there? What other businesses do people need to run out of their vehicles to serve the community? I said there are a ton of them, but they all require licenses. There are 2 pretty good pizzas in town. So he says, I'm watching your latest video, haven't finished. License for Quartzsite or the state. Thank you for replying. And I gave a link in that direct to the whole package in the town of Quartzsite for what you need to do to become a vendor, food and non-food separately. So that should answer that question in detail for you. On the Colorado River is up. Paul Bunyan says, I guess they won't be finding any more dead bodies. True that. Dina Evans says, from an information standpoint and positive assessment of nomadic life, this one is by far your best, Rob. It's clear to see that you truly do feel free at this point in your life, and that resonates with those of us who just 2 ticks away from doing what you are living. Keep going strong. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen if you try it is you spend, let's say you spend 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever the number is on an RV, and you try the lifestyle and you go, this sucks. This is not for me. I want a house. I want an apartment. I want a cabin. I want whatever. And you got to sell the RV at a loss. Half of what you paid for it. Is that too big a price to pay to find out if you can have the enthusiasm and the freedom and the wonderful, joyous life that those of us that are out here and love it have? It's not for everyone, but there's really only one way to find out. And what's the price you're willing to pay? Overnight visitor, Naj says, Coyote, yep. Virginia Hankey, another good retirement option for me was I was married for 20 years and divorced. Before I hit full retirement age, so I collected half of my ex-husband's retirement, which was very small, until I hit full retirement age at 72. For every year I did not collect, I got 8% more in my Social Security. It amounted to a hell of a lot more than it would have, and well worth the lean years to get there. And that's true. If I got it at 62. If I waited 8 more years, the check would have been, I think, almost double what I'm getting now. Okay, someone commented on the Tote Macerator Complete Guide, and they talk about how much they hate doing it and wouldn't do it, and they even describe doing something illegal. So this person's going to not be invited to comment again. That's all. We'll get rid of that. It's that easy, by the way. You say something nasty, you suggest doing something illegal, you just get hidden from the channel. And you may not know it, because you can still watch, you can still comment, and you can still respond to videos by commenting, but you'll be the only one seeing it. I won't see it. The other viewers won't see it. All right, JB, my doggy food is ground turkey, ground beef, ground sweet potatoes, ground carrots, and spinach, or kale, or broccoli, or peas. Pretty much what I do, it's just ground beef instead of ground turkey. Ground turkey's not always available. I don't, certainly not in Quartzsite. They love eating. I think that's a great thing you're doing for your dog. Robert Gulfshore says, why do people go to Quartzsite? Newbie. I'm guessing it's because it's cheap, warm, and there's a community of people like you doing the same thing, so you have that in common. Maybe also the officials of that town are actively encouraging, not discouraging people to come there. Is that it? Well, I said, Robert, over 1 million people come through Quartzsite each year. It's a mecca for RV people in the U.S. Beyond that, the answer is complex, which is why I have over 200 videos about Quartzsite. Then he says, do you have a video on why they come to Quartzsite? I have 200 videos. If you watch a bunch of them, you'll figure it out. There is no one all-encompassing, this is why people come to Quartzsite. I don't have one with that title. I'm likely not to do one with that title. I'm going to guess if you type in why people come to Quartzsite, you'll probably find it triple digits in YouTube videos. So that's my suggestion. peruse my playlist, Quartzsite playlist, or just type your question directly into YouTube, and you might get exactly what you're looking for. Deborah takes care of Dottie. That was an old short from last year. Says cute. Sally Forth. Hey, Sally, my friend. And she's responding to, someone responded to me, why is it, 9/10 of a cent in the gallon price per gallon prices? I think it's silly. What the heck is the difference between 1 cent and 9/10 of a cent? 1/10 of a cent, right? Sally says, I'm pretty sure the 9/10 of a gallon pricing strategy was developed during the Depression in the 1930s, where increasing the price by a full cent would seem unreasonable. For your Bluetooth connection issue, the previous comment didn't solve the problem. I had to forget my device and then re-enable to have it connect correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty much good there. There's something about me connecting to my action camera by Bluetooth. It'll either do the radio head or the camera. Won't do both. Don't know why. Bob Cruikshank, my buddy from up in Pahrump, says, it's amazing how similar our stories are. I came out to Pahrump in October of 2020 after taking early retirement during COVID. And that's when I first came out. I came out in January 2020 on vacation I was out there for 10 days. I wasn't ready to retire, but I had to get out of October 2020. I was there in January. I was there right before COVID. He came right after COVID. I wasn't ready to retire, but I had to get out of the situation. Like you, I've been watching all the same videos. I tried living out of a Chevrolet Suburban. That was not comfortable for me and the dog, so I purchased a travel trailer at Camping World in Vegas. Though I have a perfect travel trailer for dune backing, I've never been off-grid. I think our only difference is I like my showers and being plugged in. Well, I can tell you this. People prefer that. I will tell you this, that once you have a solar system, you're plugged in. You're fine. Now, you don't want to be in a place where you're going to have to rely on air conditioning. So that's why, we don't stay here through the summer in Quartzsite. We head north, we head up in elevation. So that problem can be solved, and a small generator will suffice for those few times where I get stuck someplace and I need AC. Fire up the generator, turn on the AC. And water, it's easy to get water in your rig. But if you don't want to deal with those things, staying in RV parks is the way. And there are plenty of inexpensive RV parks all over this part of the country. Ones at large, Lake to View, the same opening verbiage described my ability to stay on budget as well. And I don't remember what that opening was. Dan Doe says, often videos, 7.15K subscribers on your way to 100K. Oh, that'll be a while. And will not settle for anything less. Jim Bertrand, Jim, my buddy from Canada. Yep, I hung on for all 45 minutes of waiting immigration so I can retire forever. Jim married a Quartzsite lady. And right now he's finishing up his career up there. I think, Jim, isn't it the last year you need to work? And they got to work through some immigration things so he can come down and he's going to be down here pretty much full time. We'll definitely see him after Christmas. After he spends Christmas with his mother. Delightful woman. What else did I want to say about you? Oh, Jim. So we have a guy in camp here. His name is Frank. He's from Canada. I can't wait for the two of you to meet. Oh, right. And we have another one, came in 34. That Tom Dale, John D. Rockefeller Sr. is generally not considered good to the working man due to his aggressive business practices that often involve exploiting workers, driving out competition through predatory pricing. All right, so this is on my positive news about a family that got their tree picked for the Rockefeller Center. So this guy decided to go on a tirade about the Rockefeller family and completely missed and potentially ruined the whole story. So guess what happens to him? Hide user from channel. No, thank you. I'm sure there are lots of legitimate criticisms about the Rockefellers, but the only part of that story that had anything to do with the Rockefellers was the placement of the tree was in front of the Rockefeller Center. It was about the family and the tree, not the legacy of Rockefeller. So I'm glad YouTube makes it so easy to get those negative waves away. Anyway, a long one today, almost an hour. Holy moly. Well, I'm glad you watched it. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.